Hi, so this is third grade math, lesson 42. So the other day we learned about pictographs. Today, and the pictograph actually used pictures on the graph to give us information. But our graph today is called a bar graph. And this graph uses bars to give us the information that we are looking for. Just like a pictograph, every bar graph must have a title, students' favorite sports. Every bar graph must have a scale, and every bar graph must have its labels, just like a pictograph. So our scale is 0, each line, it looks like we're counting by twos. Each line is by 2, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, all the way to 20. And then our labels are baseball, basketball, football, soccer, and swimming. And remember, this is students' favorite sport. So let's look at the information we can get from this bar graph. So this bar graph is telling me that how many students liked baseball? Here's our label, baseball. It's our favorite sport. So if we follow this line down, it comes to 8. The next line is 10, but it doesn't go all the way to 10. So what number comes between 8 and 10? Of course, 9. So this bar graph tells us that 9 students' favorite sport is baseball. Our next label is basketball. So how many students' favorite sport was basketball? If we follow it out all the way, follow the bar all the way to the line, follow the line down, it tells us on our scale that 14 students' favorite sport was baseball. So looking at football, on our label we have football. If we follow our bar out to the line, follow that bar down, on the scale it tells us that 8 students' favorite sport was football. Oh my goodness, look at this one. On the labels we have soccer. How many students' favorite sport was soccer? Follow our bar all the way out to the last line. Follow it down, and our label, our scale, says 20 students' favorite sport was soccer. So our last label is swimming. We follow our bar all the way across, follow the line to the bottom, and our scale tells us that 14 students' favorite sport was swimming. So looking at this bar graph, which was the least favorite sport? The least favorite. Very good, it was football. Football was the least favorite. I honestly would have thought that swimming would have been the favorite. And then which one was the favorite sport? All the way out the longest bar, and that is soccer. Very, very good. So that is how you are going to do a bar graph. Now I want to give you a reminder of two-digit division. So let me look at the screen real quick and make sure you can see that over there on the side. Yes, you can. Okay, so here we go. So let's do 84 divided by 2. Our first step is to divide. How many times will 2 go into 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. It will go in there 4 times. Our 4 goes straight above the 8 because that's the number we divided into. Our next step is to multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. Our 8 goes straight under the 8 because that is the column we are working in. Our next step is to subtract. 8 minus 8 equals 0. Our next step is to compare. Is 0 smaller than 2? Yes, it is. So our fifth step is to, remember, bring down. So we're bringing down the 4. Now we're going to say how many times will 2 go into 4, the number we brought down here. It will go in there 2 times. So our 2 goes up here above the 4 because we're working in the straight column. 2 times 2 is 4. We write it straight under the 4 we brought down. We're working in that straight column. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't make my signs up here. We divided, we subtracted, we compared. And well, now we are subtracting. 4 minus 4 is 0. And then we compare. Is 0 smaller than 2? It is. Is there anything else to bring down in our dividend? It is not. So our quotient is 42. Remember to check our division problem. We multiply our quotient, 42, times our divisor 2, and that should equal our dividend. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. We have 84 and we have 84. So we are good. Okay? So go ahead and get your math books out and open them to page 83 and page 84. Put your name and date at the top, and you may pause that video while you do so. Okay, so if you will look at page 83, you'll see a graph on there, much like the one we did on the board, and you have some questions there that you will be answering concerning that bar graph. And then you will be dividing and checking your division problems. And then on page 84, you're going to be estimating some answers. Now, estimating is kind of cool because you're not going to write a real answer. You're going to write an estimated answer. Let me see if I write on the bottom. No, you won't see that. Okay, remember you can rewind this video and go back to this board if you need it, okay? But I need to erase it for right now, but you can go back and pause the video to look at it to do your work, okay? All right, so if we are estimating an answer, this is how it works. It's kind of cool. So if we have 67 plus 24, and our directions say to estimate the answer, we're not going to put the real answer. We're not going to add 7 and 4 and 6 and 2. We're going to do it like this. We're going to round to 67. Is 67 closer to 60 or closer to 70? It's closer to 70. Is 24 closer to 20 or closer to 30? It's closer to 20. So we're just going to add 70 and 20, 0 and 0 is 0, 7 and 2 is 90, and that is our estimated sum. It's not the real sum, it's an estimated sum. It's a pretty close to the right answer sum. It's estimated. Okay, now look at this one. If we say 27 minus 11, and they tell us to estimate the difference. So we're going to say 27. Is that closer to 20 or closer to 30? It's closer to 30. And then we're going to say 11. Is 11 closer to 10 or closer to 20? It's closer to 10. So we're going to say 30 minus 10. 0 minus 0 is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. So our estimated difference is 20. It's not the real answer. It's close to the real answer. It's estimated. That is our estimated difference. So in section 3 on the back, you're going to do some estimated sums and some estimated differences, okay? All right, so you may complete pages 83 and page 84.